Hey, what's up, guys? Jason here. Just doing another update. I think it's like 80, I don't know, 88 days without Kratom, and it's still going strong, going good. Just this week was a really stressful week. Now I'm not gonna turn this into a vent session or nothing. I'm just gonna say it was stressful. Lots of things happened, that didn't go my way. Just wasn't a smooth week, and such is life. I don't expect it to be smooth sail. Whether I had addiction problem in the past or not, life's still gonna have its issues. Life's still gonna have its challenges, and that's just what's been going on, just natural ups and downs and adversity of life, and one thing I will mention is that work has slowed down for me, and as I mentioned in the previous videos, like being on Percocets and just opiates and then Kratom, I blew all my money, man. I didn't work, barely worked, just lived off what I had in the bank. I had $20,000 in investments, blew through that like vapor. I had over 10 grand in the bank, blew through that. Just being real, alright? It sucks to even say this, but I got so loose and sloppy. Instead of working for my bills, I just lived off what I had saved and just dipped into that, which, just being on Percocets and the Suboxone and Kratom, just like, it made me just focus on just wanting to feel better. You know what I mean? That I was willing to make such a sacrifice as that. And now here I am, almost 90 days sober, and I have to pay for this. There's consequences to my addiction, and this is just one of them. And so one thing I've been facing this week is like, I'm my own business, so taxes are coming up soon. I'm gonna have to pay probably another 10 grand in taxes this next year, and I don't have it. And that is what it is. I cannot let this steal my joy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I got myself in this position. I gotta get myself out of it. Thankfully I don't have to do it all on my own. God's on my side. So I'm just trusting in Him, doing what I have to do, doing my part. I'm just not gonna sit back and be like, God, just do all this for me. No, like He's gonna use me and show me and help me get out of this. He's not just gonna do everything for me, So yeah, it sucks, credit card debt as well. So yeah, it is what it is. I'll get out of this. I ain't worried. I'll get this figured out. You know what I mean? I will get through this. And I also have been having the urges. I don't even want to call them temptations, because like I'm not tempted, right? Like I already know, like it's not an option to take Kratom again. But it's interesting. Where I used to get my Kratom is a nutrition shop, right? So that's where I get all my protein. That's where I get all my pre-workout. I get all my supplements, because it's just the best deal there, right? And they happen to sell Kratom, and that's where I used to get my Kratom. So every time I go to the store, I gotta see the Kratom there hanging on the shelf, man. And it's not even tempting, man. But just the other day, man, I was just stressed, parked in the street where I used to park when I'd go and pick up Kratom there, and it just had this like trigger in my mind, like, oh, grab some Kratom. And I'm like, ha! I just laughed at it, like, ha, yeah, right. And so it's just really cool to get past that. Like, dude, what would I be going back to? A dead end, man. I'm not giving myself a slave to anything ever again, man. That's done with. And another thing was like I just started up at the gym again, and even it's been over a year without weed. And back when I smoked weed is when I was going to the gym again, like doing the martial arts. So like after the gym, after martial art class, I'd come home, do a bunch of dabs, hit the bong, and then just be all high and happy. I got a workout in, I get to get high now. So like getting back into the gym again, I had these triggers like, oh man, you're going home, and what are you gonna do, man? And it's just like, well, yeah, I don't do that anymore. So it didn't take long. It took like a couple days to get used to the fact that, hey man, this isn't what we do anymore after the gym. So it's just like rewiring these pathways in the brain, like in other situations too. Like I'm sure in the future I'll step into like, oh, back when because I work at different warehouses too, right? So I haven't worked at a warehouse for like 3 months, 4 months, and I went back there the other day. The last time I was there, I was taking Kratom, right? So I had these like urges and these like, not urges, but like reminders, like, hey, last time you're here, you're taking Kratom. And it kind of messes with your mind a little bit, and it's like, yeah, but we don't do that anymore. So it's just about rewiring all these memories and pathways into healthy ones, right? Like, yeah, I don't do that. That's the old me, right? This is not who I am anymore. So it's just like, it's cool understanding that you could rewrite those patterns in the brain. Another cool thing I want to point out too is just like, I'm just discovering more of my personality, discovering more of who I am. Like I said before, man, it's like I really don't know who this person is, this sober person, the real me, without weed, without pills, without drinking, without all that stuff, man. It's just like I'm actually giving myself a chance to figure out who I really am, and it's just awesome. And I use the example of like an archaeologist like discovering fossils. Like at first they find something, and then they brush more and discover more of what it is. So it's like I keep discovering more of myself that I really didn't know yet, and it seems to be a never-ending process. Another thing I want to point out too is like I always had this problem being like a yes man. I would always want people to like me. I'd always want people to get along with me, and that's good. That's to a certain extent. But I'd always be the yes man, just saying yes to please people so they would approve of me and like me. And now I'm getting better at saying no. And another thing is, no is a complete sentence. If someone asks me to do something, no. I don't always have to give someone an explanation, or like even feel guilty for myself for saying no, like, because I'm just getting more busy. I'm more productive now. I'm back in the gym. I'm just really working on myself, doing all I can to just grow and develop. And like lots of people want to go out to lunches and dinners and things, and I can't accept every invitation. And it's unfortunate. Sometimes I got to say no to people for things like that, and other stuff too. And it is what it is. And I even have a friend or two that was really used to like the old me, kind of being passive and agreeable to everything they wanted to do, and now I'm just like, no, I can't do that tonight. I'm busy. And I had one friend like get upset with me. He's like, "Are you mad at me? Are you upset with me?" And not at all. I'm just I got this going on. Like I don't have time for that. Nothing against you. Don't take it personally. So that's just something, like people in my life that were used to the old me are having to get used to the new me, right? A more confident me, a more bold me. And I'm not trying to be arrogant or rude. You know, it's just like I gotta do what's right for me. I love you, but I gotta do what's right for me. You know. So yeah, that's just another thing I wanted to point out. And another thing is like through these down moments I've had this week, you know, my mind wanted to put me into that victim mind state where like, oh, woe is me, like, you know, I just, you shouldn't have to feel like this, you shouldn't have to feel down, nah, man, like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not playing the victim role, I'll play the victor role. I'm gonna be victorious. I know it sounds kind of corny, but we are not victims. The victim mentality is not serving us at all, because it takes all your power away. You just give it up by saying you're a victim. Like you have nothing. There's nothing you can do, right? So with this situation, yeah, I'm not a victim. You know, I played a huge role in getting myself into where I'm at now, and it's a process getting out of here, out of this hole I dug for myself. And I'm glad I decided to face it sooner than later, you know. And another cool thing, man, is just not getting caught up in my emotions, you know, like feeling down or anxious or depressed. It's just like, I can be aware of it, but not dwell on it. Because if I dwell on it, it just starts stealing my joy, right? So I just focus on, all right, what do I got to do? What needs to be done today? What should I do? And just going forward like that, you know, instead of just focusing on how I'm feeling. Because that's what I did the whole time using, is I was so conscious of my emotions that I would constantly dose to get high, right? I don't like coming down. And here's a really good thing about temptations. It's scripture, 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it. So he won't let us be tempted beyond, you know, what we can endure, which is awesome, you know. So every time I have these temptations, I'm just like, you know, they're not even bad now, but, you know, in the past I'd be like, God, I want to do this, but I don't want to. Help me. So with that, guys, that's it. God bless you.